This video is a complete journey. These lessons were initially released separately, but together they form a clear path from confusion to clarity when soloing. Don't rush it, grab your guitar and let's go. Most guitarists learn scales, but still can't create a solo that actually sound good. That's why I created a simple 7-step process that helps you to create a real ready guitar solo in just a week. Even if you've been struggling for years or even decades. Maybe you feel like you already know guitar, that you know a few pieces of guitar. Let's say you know the pentatonics, you know some scales here and there, some licks, a little bit of theory, but you still freeze up when it's time for you to solo, to improvise. And believe me, I've coached many people on the 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s that tell me the same thing. They are on the same boat with you. They say, I've collected guitars, I have all the gear, I follow this and this guy on YouTube, but I still can't make my solo sound the way I want. I always get stuck in the same rut and so on. So this is good news for you. You're not alone. That's always good to feel like, okay, I'm not alone, right? And normally, it's not missing talent either. Maybe you thought, oh, maybe I don't have enough talent. Usually, it's not the problem. Usually, it's not lack of understanding or knowledge. I believe you already know what you need to solo and be proud of your solo. Already know it's not more scales that you need. And you don't need more pedals. You don't need more guitars. Of course, we want more, but it's not what you need, right? What you need is actually having a clear, simple process that you can follow and repeat, right? Something that actually leads you to the finished solo that you play and you feel like you accomplished something and you're proud of. So let me quickly show you the 7 steps I teach inside the 7-day solo sprint. This is the process that you can use, okay? And this week already, that will help you to build your first real solo. First is what you're gonna use, the shape. Let's pick one. And usually the most musical, the most famous one is this. The pentatonic scale. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Key of A, root on the 5th fret on E. Let's add the blues element, the blue note. So 1, 4, 1, 2, 3 on the A string, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4 on G string, and high E and B, 1, 4, 1, 4. So 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4. Well, this is a solid place for you to start, or the backbone. When you know the shape, you never feel lost, right? You're always solid. Now, inside this shape, there's some sweet notes that every time you hit, it will sound good. It's good to know where they are. So these are notes that you can rest on, that you can stop, you can pause, you can breathe. So let's say this note, because this is the root, the octave of it, that's on D string, fret 7. You can hear like automatically. And this note here. These 3 notes are the root, A, and A. Right? So obviously it will be very safe to stop there. Phrasing, point 3, expression techniques. How do you play the notes? Automatically or intentionally? You gotta be intentional on how. Hammer on, slide, sliding, bending. That's always like the articulation. It's simple, it's beautiful, and creates life, creates movement. Point 4, groove. You want to feel good. You want to sound good, playing the right notes with expression techniques, but you want it to feel good. So it feels good when you play in the pocket with the groove. So you need to lock in with the track. You gotta lock into the track, all right? So we can exercise this a few different ways. Starting our phrase on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Or off beat. 1. Did you see the difference? Point 5 is the melody. A very tiny music idea can create something amazing and memorable. Simple. Or point 6, very simple. You build your solo. Build how? You get that idea that you had on point 5, what I just did. And you develop it, you unfold it, you stretch it out, you explore. How else can you play that idea in different ways and create a solo using that? Using all the tools that we've been using, all the points that we've been using to create a solo, a 12-bar solo. Gonna play with the groove, gonna play on beat, off beat. You're gonna use the phrasing ideas, right? Gonna bend some notes here. You're gonna slide some notes. You're gonna land on different sweet notes. Right? Point 7, perform your solo. This is where you put everything together, right? And you polish off and make sure everything's good. Point your camera at yourself. Be on a good lighting place. And press record and start playing. Simple like that. You're gonna have yourself a recording of your playing. Maybe that's the first time you're gonna be doing that. Man, it's my favorite part, you know. Most of my students tell me that recording that final solo feels like finally reclaiming a dream they had decades ago sometimes. You don't need to be advanced. You don't need to have a crazy amount of gear. You just need a clear path. Today I want to show you one of the most simple ways to make your solo sound more musical instantly. This is a concept I teach inside my 7-step method, where I teach you how to create a real ready solo. You know, honestly, if you get this alone can transform the way you solo today. Most guitarists think that what they need is more skill, more knowledge, when actually what most guitarists need is clarity. And sweet notes does that, give you exactly that, clarity. By the end of this video, you will be able to create some short, intentional melodies that sound intentional, not random, even if solo has been a struggle for you for years. Now, let's start with why so many solos don't sound musical. It's not because of lack of knowledge or lack of skill or lack of passion. No, it's one simple thing. You're trying to make solos with way too many notes. If you simplify and target specific notes, that will be fixed forever. You know, when we think about scales, you think about the whole shape, right? 15 notes for the blue note that you can use, or 14, yeah? 14 notes with the blue note that you can use to create solos. It's a lot of notes. And that creates overload to your brain. So it's confusing. You don't know where to end. Our brain is thinking of all the notes without knowing which one to focus on. The sweet notes fix that. So let's go over this. Sweet notes are simply 2 or 3 notes that create stability, creates emotional pull inside a chord. These are notes that the listener will go, hey, that sounded good. There are anchor points inside your solo. When you hit them, everything will sound musical. But if you don't hit them, everything will sound random, out of place, and with no rest. So for example, I'm gonna play a few notes, a little bit of a solo here randomly, okay? Using the pentatonic, the blues scale. You can hear everything sound right, but if I play in a random way, doesn't sound good. It just sound messy. Yeah, I'm playing all the notes, perfect, no problem. But now I'm gonna hit some notes that will make sense. Already sound much better, right? Right away, right? And I'm improvising, but I was intentional in what notes I was going to hit and pause, and that right away make a whole world of difference, right? Same fingers, same skills, even less skill level because I'm playing slower if you think about it, completely different vibe. So let's figure out what are these sweet notes here in the most simple possible way. Step 1, find the root note on one string. So we can have the root note in a few strings here. I'll show you 3, but let's focus on 1. Root note right here, because this is the root of the scale. Right here, also A and A, okay? These are the root. And let's focus on this one, on the D string. So the ring finger right here. Now, let's add the major third or the minor third. On the scale, it goes like this. This is what makes the chord major or minor or major. You can hear, right? Happy chord, sad chord. So here's the minor third, here's the major third. On the chord, we're playing this. And step 3, find the 5th, which is this note right here. So we have the root, the major third, and the 5th. Well, a triad. Maybe minor third, depending on how you play, right? Because that's the note on the scale. These 3 notes alone can create emotion, tension, release, melody, musical phrases. And the cool thing is that you don't need the whole fretboard. Just here. If you target them, you will have much better solos. So let's get a backing track here. And your job is to just land on the sweet notes. Either this, or this, okay? Every phrase you play, just land there. Let's do it. Land on the third. First I land over here. Already sound great, right? You already can hear how actually that sounds like music. So here is a practice routine I give my students. Round 1 over the 12 bars, only hit the sweet notes. even if it feels too simple. It's okay to feel simple. You're training your ears. Round 2, you explore freely, but land on sweet notes. That's a cool exercise. You go over, but always land on the sweet notes. This makes your playing sound more intentional right away. And round 3, build short 3 to 5 note melodies. This is where things start sounding like a real solo. Quickly, gonna do only hit sweet notes. Now I'm gonna go a little more free. I'm gonna hit playing, landing on sweet notes. This is always a good one, right? Major third, on the 5th, and so on. Same phrase, right? Again. Same phrase. So you see, just here, I played pretty simple, right? I mean, there were some phrases that were more elaborated than others, but I didn't play the whole freaking shape. I was just playing, I don't know, over notes on D and G strings and some on the B strings. And I was able to play 3 rounds very intentionally. I'm not gonna say everything sounded like awesome, but you see how it was simple to follow this strategy. And this is exactly what creates confidence when you're playing. And this is what older guitarists tell me every time that finally unlock their improvisation. It's the intentionality, it's the clarity. If this clicked for you, and if you want the simple 7-step framework I use with other guitarists for them to finally create their real solo guitar and even record, I put together a resource called the Real Ready Solo Guide. And inside I walk through the sweet notes, the shape, the phrasing, the groove, a melody, building your solo, and how to record. It's everything you need to create your first confident and musical guitar solo, step by step. And the link is right below. I hope this helped you today, and if you did, let me know in the comments and let me know what key you would love to practice this on, the sweet notes, what key you're practicing. I'd love to hear it from you. Keep it simple, keep it musical, you're closer than you think, and see you in the next one. Hey friend, Thomas Decker here. Today I want to show you one of the most simplest way to make your solo sound more expressive and emotional. And it's called phrasing. Basically learning how to play the guitar the way a singer sings. You don't need more scales, you need better phrasing. Most guitar solos sound stiff for one very simple reason. Every single note gets the same treatment. Same attack, the same spacing, same length, no breathing room. Now think about how singers perform. They breathe, they pause, they swell into notes, they slide between notes, they leave space. When you add that to your guitar playing, it immediately feels like music, even with only 3 or 4 notes. Let me give you 4 ingredients for a great guitar solo. 4 simple tools you can use today. First is going to be slides, bend, vibrato, and space. Slides give you an instant emotion, instant connection between notes, right? Instead of just playing a straight note, you can slide into it. Bending notes give you the human voice on the guitar. Simple bending. It's already sound more human. Vibrato adds meaning to your sustained notes. And space. The note that you don't play sometimes is the most powerful one. Now, let me show you a very simple phrase or a very simple musical idea with no phrasing, no interpretation, okay? Very stiff. I'm gonna play as stiff as I can. Still has the rhythm concept, but the notes are very flat, very stiff. It's just not more stiff because I'm playing on the rhythm, on the swing of the blues, right? Now let me play the same phrase with a little bit of the techniques that we talked about. So sliding. For the first note, I'm gonna slide. Already feels better, right? Okay. Now let me add a bending note here. I'm gonna add right here on this section. Now add. So it came from this, and now it is like this. I'm gonna add a bending on this note here too. Okay, I can add a sliding right here. Right? Both sound already very good, right? Both are very good. Vibrato. Let's give this meaning to our last note. But you see how all these phrasing techniques sound much better than just flat. Make sure that you're actually using this kind of technique on your playing. Alright, start with a slide. Very simple. Did you see how many bending notes I did here and how cool it sounds? Let's just focus here on the G string. Always going to the sweet note. It's just using G and D strings basically, right? B string. phrasing, right? Were you able to see that I was using bending, sliding, hammer-on, pull-offs, what was the other one? Vibrato, bending notes, and also I gave a lot of room. And this is one of the things I teach on my 7-step method for you to create your first real guitar solo. We can create and even record and even share if you want. If this clicks for you and if you want a complete 7-step method, I put it all inside the Real Ready Guitar Solo Guide, which is a complete guide, totally free. You can have access, just click the link below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. See you then. Most guitarists think their solos don't sound very good because of wrong notes. But usually, it's actually timing. Groove, it's the difference between that sounds a little messy to, oh, that sounds great. Hey friend, how's it going? Thomas Decker here. Today, I'm gonna show you the simplest way for you to get your groove under control and your solos to sound and feel great. One concept you gotta keep in mind is that timing is just as important, if maybe not more important than notes. The timing. When your timing is off, even the right notes will sound wrong. Everything feels rushed or stiff, and your phrases don't feel natural, don't feel connected. But with good timing, even simple notes can sound great. So let me teach you the 3 timing zones when playing guitar. Think of groove in 3 parts like this, 3 placements. On beat, ahead of the beat, or behind the beat. So when you play on the beat, it feels like you're confident. The phrase sounds confident. When you play ahead of the beat, it feels like you're a little bit more energy. And if you play behind the beat, it feels like you're not relaxed, you're bluesy, you're just going with the flow. So play on beat, ahead of the beat, or behind the beat. All that changes the intentionality, the intention of the phrase. Sometimes the same phrase, the same sequence of notes, but where you place them on the backing track or in the song, on the solo, will give a complete different intention. So here's a good exercise I give my students. I'm gonna put the backing track again and let's play together. Feel the beat. I like to tap my foot with it or move your body with it, and you can play the sweet note. So that was behind the tempo, right? Here behind. On tempo. Ahead. See? On tempo. Behind. Ahead. You notice that? Now let's build little phrases with that. On tempo. That was right on the beat. Now let's go a little behind. Same phrase. Again. Now I'll go ahead. Again. Again. Did you notice what I did in the end? On the turnaround, I did on tempo, on beat, ahead of the beat, and behind of the beat. Go again if you need and watch that part again. I do one after the other. And that's, if you have that and you lock into the track, lock in the groove, your solos can be completely transformed. Still the same notes, right? So now you start not only sounding good because you're playing the right notes, but you start feeling good. Your sound, your solo start to feel good. This is one of the things I teach inside my Real Ready solo guide, which is a guide I put together for you completely free. Just check the description and the comments below, where I have 7 steps for you to create and record a great guitar solo you're proud to share. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. See you then. Today I want to show you how to create actual melodies when you play a solo and not only run the scale up and down. If you can hum it, you can play it. Now let me show you how. Hey friend, how's it going? Thomas Decker here. What makes something a melody? A melody is repetition, it's shape, call and response, and resolution. Most guitarists skip all 4 steps and just play scales. Let me show you something melodic. Right? You can sing this. Now, let me show you something not so melodic. There are many different ways you can create melodies. One of them is using the humming methods. The humming method is very simple. Help many students to create melodies. So you hum something, 3, maybe 5 notes. You find it on the guitar. You can repeat it and you can change it. So let me show you here. It forces your brain to think musically instead of mechanically. It helps you to be creative by eliminating all the rest of the scale. Here it is, backing track. Okay. Another exercise you can do is like the 3 melody mini solo. It's a great exercise. You have a melody, very simple. A second melody, a little bit of a variation top of that, and a third melody to resolve all that conversation that is going on. Even beginners can do this. You don't need a lot of notes. Just let me show you here. So take a look. I'm gonna use these 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna play something very simple. I'm gonna make a variation top of it and gonna resolve. So there you go. Simple. Now I'm gonna create some tension here because I know the music will go. I'm not going to the end of it. Now I did. So I kind of played half of it. Let's do it again. Play the same thing, but with some variation. Right? Very simple, very rudimentary. If you're a new player, you can do this. There you have 12 bar solo. Now let me go a little, improvise a bit. I started the same way, changed in the end. Changed the last note, but very simple, right? There you go, very simple. Nothing crazy. You can do that too. Now, if you want the full 7-step roadmap for you to create and record your first real solo with melody, with phrasing, groove, and more, grab the free Real Ready solo guide in the description of this video on the comment below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope to see you next one. See you then. Most guitar players I work with tell me the same thing. They know their scales and they practice them for years. But when it comes to actually create solos, it doesn't sound musical. They get stuck playing the same patterns, they keep on running up and down the same shapes. And eventually, they start wondering if there's something wrong with them. And here's the truth. This is not a talent problem. This is not a discipline problem. This is a system problem. Hey friend, how's it going? Thomas Decker here. Most of us learned scales thinking that the scales would unlock melodies, right? But scales don't tell you what notes matter or when to stop, right? Or how to create direction and how to make something feel intentional. So what happens? We play more notes. That's what we do. We're guitar players. We can play notes non-stop because we don't depend on breath. We can just keep on playing, filling the space and hoping that something will sound musical, right? And usually it doesn't help because scales give you options and not decisions. Here is the reframe that changes everything. Melody is not about how many notes you know, rather melody is about choices. It's about repetition, space, tension and release, knowing where you are going. The players that are sounding great, that sound musical, they're not playing more notes per se, but they are deciding more. You don't need more notes. You need a framework for choosing the notes. Let me show you what I mean. That's not sounding musical, is it? I'm playing all the notes you know, from the most famous of all, pentatonic. It's an A, right? So I'm playing that A pentatonic. I can play the A major scale. As fast as I can. Fill with as many notes I can. A lot of notes. Not a lot of direction though, right? Not a lot of decision. Now listen, I'm gonna play less notes, same scale, fewer notes, more space, and clear targets, okay? Which ones sound more musical? Nothing changed except for the system behind, the choices. First, I was shredding all the scales, all the notes, everything as fast as I can. The other one, I started to decide where to stop, give more space, more clear targets, right? And this is the part most guitar players miss. They don't need another scale. They don't need more theory. They don't need more practice hours. No, they need a step-by-step process that leads them to a finished result. And that's the difference between playing ideas and creating a solo. If you always wanted to create a guitar solo, recorded it, and feel proud enough to share it, I built something special for you. It's called the 7-Day Solo Sprint. And I walk you step by step through shaping melodies, choosing the right notes, building a complete solo, and recording it. All that in just 1 week. No guessing, no overwhelming, just a clear system. If you're ready to just stop dreaming about it and actually create something real, you'll find the link below. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one. See you then. Most guitarists never finish a solo, and it's not because of lack of skills, but it's actually because they were never taught how to shape a solo from beginning to the end. They start ideas, they move from shapes, but nothing ever feels complete. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Hey friend, how's it going? Thomas here. What do I mean about a finished solo? It's not about shredding. It's not about playing as many notes as you can. Or it's not about knowing all the scales, lots of scales. No, it's not about that. But rather, a finished solo, it's having a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that can be a composed solo or an improvised solo as well. A finished solo feels intentional, okay? Even simple notes can feel finished, can feel like, yeah, you landed. Listeners can tell when your solo is going somewhere or if you're just noodling around. So here are a few reasons why your solos don't feel finished. Reason number one, you practice while you're soloing. You're either playing licks that you already practiced before and you're just throwing out there. You're playing through shapes of scales or patterns, right? Here's a shape of a scale. You just play over it. Maybe you break it down a little bit, or you play a pattern over the scale. Or you're just playing exercises over. Right? Things that you should be practicing in your studio, in your home, but you're using as solo. That it's not musical, right? Those don't feel like musical statements. And we have the tendency as guitar players to mix those two things. I remember doing that so many times, and I'm sure you do it too. Reason number two is no clear finish line, no time limit. No structure, no plan. You're just regurgitating notes, regurgitating the scales, right? It's like talking without knowing where you're going with your conversation, where you're going, what are you using the sentences you're using in a conversation. So what happens? We are divorcing our mental faculties to the skills. We're not using your thoughts, not using your mind to create musical sentences, but rather we are just like showing off our skills. And reason number three, and this is a big one, you probably never record yourself. You probably never watch yourself playing. And this is a very, very important part, believe it or not. Playing feels different than listening back. Totally different. Recording exposes where your ideas actually land. You're gonna notice something different when you're recording yourself and watching yourself. And avoiding this keep people stuck. If avoiding recording yourself will keep you stuck. because you're not, you have a feeling that you have in progress, you have a feeling that you're playing well, you have a feeling that you're progressing, but without a real feedback, even your own, you will not have that. You will not have the real progress because you're not actually seeing the result of what you're doing. And recording here, it's not about posting on social media or, no, it's about awareness. When you record yourself, you start to see the reality of what you're doing, right? It can be cruel, but it can be very rewarding if you use that as a tool for you to grow and, improve. So one simple idea I want you to stick with next time you play, and every time you play actually, stop trying to play everything you know and start trying to say one thing. Forget everything you know, not forget, but you don't need to use everything. Start trying to say at least one thing, okay? So people can remember, so people can connect with you. Not only the listeners, but yourself. You're gonna feel much better. When you limit yourself to one shape, this will give you more, what's the word I'm thinking? More control. When you're thinking of a shape, I'm not thinking about all this. I'm thinking a shape within the shape. Usually D and G strings. Limit yourself to 2, 3 strings and that shape. Because when you do that, you have more control. You have less to think about, less to hunt for, and more control to play and create your solos. Limit yourself to one shape. Choose a simple motif, a simple theme. From there, you can this is already memorable. It's a little motif, a fragment of a musical idea that I repeat. Repeat and develop ideas. Even if it sounds a little repetitive, you'll be able to create more without hunting for notes, without running the scales up and down, without exercising in front when you should be soloing, right? Repeat ideas. Say the same thing again. Let the ideas develop, okay? And end intentional instead of drifting. So find ways to be intentional on the landing, of the ending of your solo. Those things will get you, gonna make you way more musical than just playing scales, just showing off skills. And you'll connect to yourself first of all. You're gonna be saying something and you're gonna be connecting with the listeners or even your band. If you want help to actually applying this, finishing a solo, not only grasping the idea, that's exactly why I created the Real Ready Solo Challenge. 7 days, step by step, you record a solo you're proud to share. My friend, you're closer than you think. This is not about more information, and it's about finishing, making musical sense. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. See you then. Let me ask you something. When you're solo, do you feel like you're telling a story, like you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a wrap up, and everything makes sense? Or does it feel like a bunch of good ideas, but never landing anywhere? Most guitarists don't struggle with scales. Most guitarists struggle with finishing a musical thought. Playing a solo is a lot like speaking. You can know a whole bunch of words, but if you don't know how to form sentences, people won't feel what you mean. You're not unmusical or lacking talent. You were just never been taught how to think in form instead of licks. When soloing, you can play licks that you memorize, that you copy from other guitarists. Or you can create musical ideas, use the same notes, the same fingers, but shape into something that's meaningful. You open with an idea, you develop, stretch that idea, and you land on a resolution note. Same skill, same hands, different thinking. Every solo, even a simple one, can have three parts. The beginning, where you say one clear idea. The middle part, where you develop that idea, and you don't abandon it, you develop it. And the end, you bring it home, you let it resolve. That's it, no theory overload, just musical storytelling. And this is the moment where people start to feel proud of their playing. Not because they can play fast, but because they said something. And when you can look at it again and listen back to your solo, you can say, yeah, that feels good, that sounds like a real solo. And something inside you shifts. And that is actually why I created the Real Ready Solo Challenge. Not to teach you more skills, but to help you and walk with you step by step through a framework that will help you create a complete solo, one that you are proud to record and share. Beginning, middle, and end. A musical story with your voice. If that is something you've been missing, I'd love to walk this journey with you. You're closer than you think. You don't need more notes, you need direction. And direction changes everything. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one. See you then. Most guitarists don't run out of notes. They run out of patience with one idea. Play a short lick, then stop. We play something once and immediately abandon it. New lick, new pattern, new shape. And the solo never becomes a story, just a collection of sentences that never connect. Hey friend, how's it going? Thomas Decker here. Imagine having a conversation with someone where every sentence the topic changes. Something like, hi, my name is, oh, look a dog. By the way, I went to the store and, oh, what time is it? That is actually how a lot of solos of many of us sound. And it's not because the notes are wrong, but it's because the ideas never get the chance to be developed. I'm gonna play a sentence, 3, 4 notes here, just to say something, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I slid back, right? That's my sentence. I can repeat it because this is pretty sweet. I'm using the pentatonic of A minor here, right? But I am containing myself to D and G string. Can repeat, can change a little bit. hope you can see how I'm using the same element. Ta 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 pa pa. Ta 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 ta. In this case is a rhythm, right? That I used as a motif, as a little key to create different variations on top of that. I didn't add information, but I added intention by moving up and down. Yeah, I'm giving more information, different notes, but the core of it, the original phrase, is the same with slight rhythmic variation, question versions, right? Landing on a response as a resolution. So, same idea. Now sounds like a conversation. I'm using, the pentatonic, but I'm using as a tool to create music. And I used a little key, like I can say is a little codex, right? To develop musical ideas. And I can use that again and again and again. That's one way you can develop your phrasing, can develop a good idea instead of going to the next shape, instead of going to the next technique, instead of going to the next pattern, whatever, right? Stick with an idea, develop that idea. Development is not about being clever, being brilliant. No, it's about being faithful and work that idea long enough for it to mean something, to actually start to be catchy, right? And this is where most guitarists feel musical, not when they learn faster scales or new licks, but it's when they realize that I can do so much with a small idea. I can turn that small idea into something that actually says something. And that, my friends, is exactly what we do inside the Real Ready Solo Challenge. No more scales, no more patterns, but to get what you already know and start to shape into a complete musical statement. We have the beginning, the development, and the resolution. So then, when you hit record, you're not just guessing anymore, but you're telling a story. If you want to know more about it, you'll find the link in the description of this video. Now, you don't need more notes. You need to stay with one idea long enough for it to become music. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. See you then. Let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. You probably have enough guitar information like scales and tabs, licks, saved YouTube videos. But when was the last time you actually recorded something and then you went back to listen to it, you said, yeah, that sounds like me, I'm proud of it. If that question stings a little bit, it's not because you are a bad guitarist. It's because of something most guitarists fall into, the information trap. Most guitarists don't feel stuck because they don't know enough. They feel stuck because they become information collectors. We keep on learning, we keep saving videos, we keep practicing fragments, but we rarely finish something. And here's the truth most people never say out loud. Information informs, but creation transforms. You don't feel like a real guitarist when you learn a new scale. You feel like a real guitarist when you create something real and you can go back and listen to it again and recognize it as yours. It's kind of like a carpenter that goes and buys all the tools in the store. He goes and has the most beautiful shop, all the tools in the shed, sharp, clean, beautiful, but he never builds anything with it. The world doesn't need more people that knows how the tools work. The world needs people that actually build stuff and people can use. And music works the same way. Let me show you what I mean. Now listen to this. Simple 4-bar phrase has space, direction, and a clear ending. Same guitar, same hands, less information. A musical sentence, beginning, a direction, and an end. The difference isn't the skill itself, but the completion. And if you can finish a musical idea, a musical sentence, you've already done something most guitarists never do. You've made a decision and you've committed to an idea. Completion matters more than complexity. I was stuck in the information trap for years. I knew scales, I practiced, I could play them, but I didn't feel confident as a guitarist because I never finished anything. The moment that changed my playing wasn't learning more theory or a new skill. It was actually recording something simple, listening back, and realizing, okay, wow, that actually makes sense musically. And that's when confidence starts, not from speed, not from new scale, but from clarity. So here's the challenge for you today. Pick 3 notes, just 3. Record yourself playing a short musical sentence with these 3 notes. Record on your phone, simple. Don't post it, just listen back. That recording is a mirror. It's the bridge between being a collector of information and becoming a creator. You might feel a little nervous, which is normal, but don't let that stop you. Don't be perfectionist. Don't look for perfection, but for coherence, musical sense, completion. And one more thing, it's okay to want to feel proud of your playing. It's okay. That pride is not ego. That pride is not egocentric. It's fuel, okay? That it's what happens when you create things. If this resonates with you, you are in the right place because this channel is about helping you to create your solo. And if you want guidance creating your first solo, I built the Real Ready Solo Challenge to walk you through that process step by step. We're not building a library here. We're building a workshop. Let's create together. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one. See you then.